more. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Annie Edgerton, the Wine Minx, here for Day Drinking with the Wine Minx. I'm so excited today. I am day drinking with the fabulous proprietress and creator and host of Apartment Rehab NYC, Ms. Ellen Z Wright. Hi, Ellen. Ellen and I are drinking Italian Rosés. Ms. Ellen, what are you pouring in your glass today?
Cheers. I have a very fancy, cheers, first drinking. It's a box rosé.
Ooh, so a Rosato de Nero d'Avola, which is a Sicilian grape variety.
My wife loves rosé, and we have another sommelier friend that during a picnic brought this amazing boxed rosé, and he told us a story about the quality, and that there's only one of the few places that sell it in New York City is in Italy, is the wine store Italy. Mm-hmm. And the people that know about this boxed wine buy it all. So the second it's stocked, it all sells out, gone. So we have a group of friends that literally anytime they're in the area, they go to Italy and they check for it, and they text like the text chain, and they go, they have the box of wine, and then we all put it, and then they basically just buy them out, take a cab home, and we Venmo them, and we go to their apartment and we pick up our
this is wine. Like what people are doing with masks and hand sanitizer now too. This is a Langhe Rosato. So Rosato is rosé in Italian, Rosato. And this is from the Langhe. So this is made from Nebbiolo, which is a really like heavy duty acidic tannic grape. And it's super duper pale. Yours is definitely pinkier, but mine is super duper pale, but it's packing a wallop.
Why is yours so light and mine is so pink?
This is a fabulous question. Okay, because rosé, a lot of people kind of forget or maybe don't know that rosé is actually made from red grapes. So if you think about the hues of all of the different red wines out there, some are pale and cherry colored, some are really dense, you can't see through them. This is because of the skins of those particular grapes. So some of them are thin, some are thick, some are deeply pigmented, some are lightly pigmented. So when you squish them and you make a white wine out of a red grape, that's why these all have different colors, like the red ones do.
Is there a difference in sweetness associated with those colors?
No. The thing is that 99% of table wines are dry, including dancing to the siren. Even rosé wines are predominantly dry. There are some notable sweet ones like Weizen. Some might have some residual sugar because Americans like have a sweet tooth. But the color of the wine does not tell you how it's going to taste, especially in rosés, and that's really important. Why don't you tell our fabulous viewers about what you do with Apartment Rehab and like how the shutdown has affected you and your business and everything?
I'm an interior designer, which I technically could still keep doing from home. But if the whole world wasn't shut down, that would be fine. But it's also a comedy web series. So that I actually have been able to continue.
You have been making comedy videos, I saw, but also real helpful videos. I've seen you help someone zhuzh her bedroom via Zoom, which is how we're all living our lives right now. So are you available for people to hire you to, have a consultation?
Yes, that's actually how my business originally started. Now I'm doing full gut renovations and I'm doing all these giant projects, which is super exciting to actually get to shop for things and make purchases and create from scratch. But I love helping people turn a space that they thought they were stuck in into a space that seems like an entirely new space.
What are some tips or tricks that people can do while they're still stuck at home that can refresh the space? Because they're probably getting tired of looking at the same four walls.
Wherever the windows are in your living room, maneuver your couch to face those windows. Ooh. And there are lots of ways that you can make this work. Think like, oh, but that means it'll be in the middle of the room. That's even better, because if it's in the middle of the room, now behind the couch, you have a WeWork that you can set up. You have a gym area that you can set up that won't conflict with now your living room space is here and your WeWork, your gym, your podcast, your video gaming, or like whatever reading nook can be now be on behind the couch with like its own little lamp, its own little chair, its own little like totally separate space. But the beauty of sitting on your sofa and hanging out and looking out to the outside, life-changing. It creates the illusion that you're outside. You're not staring at a wall. You're not staring at a weird yellow light. And the worst case scenario, you move it back.
Yeah. Move it back. I love this idea. Ooh, tell me another one. Do you have another tip?
Ooh. In the nighttime, try not to turn on any of your overhead, like any of your ceiling lights. Try, if you have lamps that's like softer, maybe a little warmer, try to just use those. Light candles, like do things that create ambiance.
I love that idea. Anything to just kind of make your mood better, I think, is what you're talking about.
It's all about ambiance and creating separate little spaces so that you can escape from the people you might be quarantining with. I found that even as great as you get along with people, it is just really, really important to give yourself even just an hour to just put on your headphone cans and go sit in a reading nook that you've created, maybe buy some houseplants where it has your own little light, your own little pretty thing with like a succulent or whatever it is, like stuff that you have. You don't need to buy anything. I guarantee everyone has something that they can pull to be really creative and create a little nook. Put on your cans, close your eyes, sit in a chair, put your feet up and listen to your favorite podcast and pour a drink.
Tell the folks at home about this series, Apartment Rehab NYC.
It is a spoof home improvement show that is still an actual home improvement show with real clients.
Most of the home improvement shows that you watch don't take place in a city like New York with teeny tiny apartments.
Yeah.
Which are the things that actually need it the most.
It's kooky. So the space, I mean, in New York City, I think with any urban environment, you're going to get some weird spaces.
I have a question for you. Tell me about your wine. Describe it to me. How are the fruit flavors? How's the structure? How's that acidity? How is that?
There's a sweetness to it, but it is not too sweet.
Is it actually sweet or is it fruity? This is one of my things.
Oh, yes. Fruity.
That is one of the biggest misconceptions or misused descriptors of wine is the word sweet, because 99.9% of wines that you're going to drink every day are dry, which is the opposite of sweet, but they can be very fruity, and that fruit can be very ripe, even confected, jammy. If you don't really know the difference and you walk into a wine bar and you say, I want a red wine, but one that's not too sweet, people are going to look at you like, most of them are not sweet, so I don't know what you want.
In a fruity wine, how does acidity play in? Like what does that mean when we're talking rosé?
This excites me so much because I'm like, wait for the delay to stop so I can talk. Because I always talk about rosé as being the best of both worlds because they are a red wine and a white wine's body, made from red grapes, but they just don't have the skin contact, which is the only reason why red wines are red, is because they have contact with their red skins. So if you have a rosé wine, it just has a scoochy scooch contact. So white wines tend to benefit from the structural component of acid, that zingy, that tart, citric kind of thing. And the red wines, when they're fully red, tend to have the structural component of tannins, that mouth-drying black tea thing. You need structure in your wine. Otherwise, it's just going to be a fruit bomb, and it's just going to be bleh. So you need acid and or tannin. So when you're asking about acid in the rosé wine, I'm like, yes, that's one of the best things because this has good acid. They should have really good bright acidity, which also makes them fabulous to pair with food. Usually during these things, I'm talking so much, I only get like a glass and I'm twice as much already into it. So you get that box out, girl.
I think this might be finished. This might be finished. Yeah, I'm drunk.
We started before. I always like to ask my guests one very important question. Are you wearing pants right now? Ellen Z Wright, I just want to thank you so much for joining me for some day drinking with the Wine Minx. Your tips on creating ambiance and fabulous zhuzhing up of your space were invaluable. I'm going to implement them myself. Everybody who's watching either live or after the fact, thank you for tuning in. And I'm enjoying these Italian Rosatos so much, feeling it right now, and I usually don't. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you, Annie, for everything. You're incredible. Thank you for teaching me about wine. Cheers.
I'm happy to do it. It's my favorite thing. More, yeah.